So one final thing then is it's very crucial, I would say, for these Cork players individually to improve. Like you already mentioned Kyle Hayes and how he looked raw a few years ago, and then he's kicked on. He's been man of the match in an All-Ireland final. He's in general he's turned into a savage player. Keane Lynch is now probably the best player in the game, bar none.
Yeah.
Gerard Hegarty has improved over the years, and actually specifically the last 2 or 3 years. He's 27 now,
Yeah.
and it's only in the last maybe 3 or 4 years that we begin to notice him. Peter Casey keeps getting better. Aaron Gallan is getting better. Like all these players, to a man, are getting better. Whereas you probably wouldn't have said that about too many Cork hurlers over the last number of years. Can that happen? Like, is the brains trust there to make sure it happens? Is everything in place for it?
Well, I mean, you'd think so. In that look, I mean, Jim O'Sullivan has, so he's won All Ireland, as a player, but also he's been heavily involved in coaching and development squads. He's cut his teeth with club teams. Ger Cunningham obviously is vastly experienced. I know up here in Dublin he didn't have a good time that particular tenure, but I mean he was involved when we got to the final in 2013. He's back involved when we're back in the final again. He's done great things with his own club in the bars as well in the background, and underage in the bars is flying from the likes of Donal O'Grady and Ger Cunningham helping out there. So I think there's the bones of the right setup there. I'm sure they'll look at 1 or 2 tweaks. Maybe there's someone else they can bring in on a specific area of the game, like the way they did with Donal O'Grady this year. I mean, he surely improved them tactically, and they came up with that game plan and they stuck to it all summer, even if it failed today. And if you talk about player improvements, I mean, Sean O'Donoghue, he was raw in 2019, and all right, Grant today didn't go well. He had an excellent summer. You know what I mean? He was 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 in every game. Superb. Rob Downey, was wing back last year. Didn't look great in the couple of league games this year. You're wondering where's his future as a Cork hurler, and like he looks ready made for the next couple of seasons. Only just turning 22 now as the fullback. So Robbie O'Flynn has taken a while to kind of get up to speed. As you said, again, as we said with everyone, today was a bad day, but Robbie O'Flynn has made great improvements this summer. He's been a key part of the forward line. And look, Shane Barrett is 20 years of age. I mean, Alan Connolly didn't come on today. Very promising player. I do think Kieran Joyce will get plenty of game time in the league there to see if he's an option defensively. Needs to bulk up, of course, but very good reading of the play and stuff. So there's plenty of good hurlers there. And of course, if they're determined enough and with the right kind of encouragement, of course they can improve. I mean, Gerard Hegarty, like, he barely get a point for you a couple of years ago, and now he's scoring. You're surprised if he doesn't get 4 or 5 scores from playing every match.
Yeah.
So incredible stuff. And Tom Morrissey, he was a good minor. Like, he stood out in that kind of minor wave that came through there about 7 or 8 years ago for Limerick. But I mean, you weren't saying he was going to be a superstar and pushing for hurler of the year type player or all-star level. So absolutely, fellas can drive on. If they believe in themselves and if the good setup is there. And I do think Cork have a good setup, 100%. Yeah.
A final point. Kieran Kingston said in the press conference afterwards, they're into 4 months of trying this new system, whereas Limerick are at year 4, or maybe even go back to the 2017 season when they first came in, year 5. So I mean, there is that.
Yeah, and that's it. And look, I do have my concerns over Coleman just in terms of his ability to stop, but maybe they'll come up with another way to keep him at 6 next year, but just have better cover. I know Luke Meade did excellently foraging deep both today and all the games in the championship. I thought he's very, very good. I mean, certainly an all-star nominee worth level of performance, but maybe there's another midfielder, a Bill Cooper style player who could sit a bit deeper. I mean, obviously he's probably going to retire now. He's been injured all summer, so I can't see him coming back next year. But someone like that who can drop deep and offer a bit of cover, and then you can let Coleman do the playmaking role that when it clicks is great to watch. And they're the type of little tweaks. But no, I don't think you certainly won't be throwing out the system, because that's the type of Cork hurler that's out there. I mean, you see it underage all the time if you go to minor matches, lad. And that's the way hurling is now. You're looking for your passes. You're not. Today, unfortunately, they sprayed a load of them down to corners in 2-on-1 scenarios. But it's all about angle deliveries, finding the runner, whether that's a hand pass or a stick pass. I mean, that's what hurling is. So Cork just have to keep with that. They need to be physically stronger. They need to be tighter again at the back. A bit better work rate. Maybe 1 or 2 forwards who are slightly different to the Kingston, Robbie O'Flynn style player, or Fitzgibbon when he's playing up there, that speedster. Maybe another 1 or 2 guys who maybe just offer something different. And that's, I suppose, what the next 6 months and into the league next year will be all about.
Absolutely. If you're watching the channel regularly, make sure to subscribe. I think the button is in the bottom corner about there. So subscribe to the channel and consider following on Patreon, patreon.com/ourgame.